I'd like to say like I've probably been in a buggy choke once or twice.
Okay.
But just knowing that everything, I kind of knew myself when the man threw up the buggy choke. I was just like, something's tight, you know. At this point, I'm just like, you know, I feel like if I can get myself out of this situation, I just gotta just stand up.
Yeah.
Stood up, and then I was just like, you know what? He's not letting go. As soon as that happened, I was just like, you know what? Time to do what O does, and it just slammed this man, you know, because it's MMA.
Yeah.
In this case, in Jiu-Jitsu, I got to put him down softly, and so in this case, I'm just like, they just say don't spike him on the head, and I was trying not to spike him on the head because I was trying to tombstone him. To be honest, I was trying to.
Oh, you're doing exactly what I said.
I was trying to get him to the point where I have him here, and then I was gonna tombstone, but then. You know, in my head, they're just like, you can't spike him on the head. So I got to be able to. It was just gonna be like just a throw.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you with another great installment of the Grappling Hour, and I am very excited to bring on a special guest. We'll get to talk to him in a second, but first, camera back on me. I'm very excited to have you guys joining us, but before we get to our wonderful guest, a couple quick reminders. First and foremost, if you like this show, and I hope that you do, I would love it if you could like, comment, and subscribe on it right now. And if you don't know what you want to comment on just this second, by the end of this video, I will give you a prompt so that you can shoot a note back to us. So wait until there. If you like the show, you can also check us out at patreon.com. At patreon.com/grappling hour. For just $5 a month, you can check my interviews out 30 days before anybody else. And for a few extra dollars, you can see some extra bonus content not available anywhere else, including tape studies with the athletes like we're going to do for this young man in his fight. You can also see a segment called Roast Raf, where people roast my competition footage, which oddly is the most popular segment we do here on the show. And you can also check out a segment called the Grappling Hour Challenge, where we give random cards to a guest. They get to pick one, and on there, it is a submission that is written on there. And they have 2 minutes to get that submission on me. The caveat is I get to roast them. So ask Chris Wojcik about how that went, or go look at it at patreon.com/grappling hour. So we reminded you of those things. You can get you some Grappling Hour merch. There's hoodies, there's t-shirts, there's tank tops in case you have questionable gains that you've made. Listen, we don't judge if you're on the sauce if you're wearing a Grappling Hour t-shirt. And that is the only way we will not judge you, because you want to show off the gains. I get it. You do the steroids so that you can look good, and there's no better way than looking good than wearing a Grappling Hour tank. I wear them all the time. Super great. And last but not least, if you want to continue the discussions that we have here on the show, you can, of course, check us out on our Discord. All right, let's get to our guest. This young man impressed me at the most recent Spar Star. I had the honor, the privilege of not only commentating a wild fight that he was not only participating in, but won, but I have seen him in the community. He has been a welcome presence, an incredibly gifted grappler. And today we had the pleasure of getting to roll for about a good hour beforehand. We chopped it up. We had some pizza, and now we get to know the young fighter by the name of Oswaldo Martinez. Is it Money Man itself? Is that what you go by?
Yeah. I mean,
why do you go by Money Man, sir?
Well, it started off like in high school when just making your Instagram handle is just like, first it was like a Trap Boyo, and then that was kind of like a rap name, and then just kind of turned into, you know what, I'm getting away from the trap.
Oh, you got away from trap then.
Yeah,
okay.
So then I was like, you know what, let's do more. What do I love? I love money. Let's do Money Man. Oh, Money Mao, and that just kind of stuck. So it was Money
I'm
Mao.
going to be honest with you. I think that's actually a pretty good nickname, though.
Hey.
So, like, when I see it, I go, oh, I kind of like that. That means people are willing to bet money on you. And in a gambling-esque sport, that's good business to have. Well, anyway, welcome to the show, sir. A pleasure to have you. How did you enjoy the roles here today, sir?
It was pretty fun, pretty light, so it's good when everybody walks away with no injuries. So
hey, listen, I had no intentions of trying to give you injuries, but I will tell you.
It's talking about me doing injury.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about that. This man had the nerve to ask me, because we were talking about professional wrestling.
Exactly.
Off air, he said, who's my favorite wrestler of all time? And I said, Bret Hart, the GOAT. And what did you say to me?
A Canadian man? Really?
Yeah.
Come on,
listen,
man.
dude, you got to respect the game that he put down.
Man, I'm talking about luchadors though. So me, I grew up watching.
Hold on,
but besides WWE,
shit about who I liked, and you decided, you know what's going to be better?
I said Rey Mysterio.
You did say Rey Mysterio.
I said Rey Mysterio, and then another GOAT, which was going to be Eddie Guerrero.
That's fine, and I respect them. I love them. Two of my favorites of all time, though I would rank Dom higher than Eddie right now. You got to know ball to know ball. But what I'm saying, I mean, he beat John Cena. Has Ray done that?
Ray was a Royal Rumble winner.
He was a Royal Rumble winner. But do you remember when he won a title and John Cena was just chilling in back, and then all of a sudden Super Cena emerged? Rey Mysterio had that title for literally 2.5 seconds, and John Cena decided to challenge him right then and there, and then took his title.
Yeah.
But you know who beat him in his second to last match? Dom Mysterio. Bam. Won the Intercontinental Championship back. But the reason why you're saying this is you're trying to give me shit. You're like, oh, a Canadian. How dare you? And you're thinking like, oh, we're pro-America here. Yeah. And then he goes, no, I'm going straight to Mexico. Fam.
Mexico.
You know what? Ice. Can we get this man?
No ice. I like my drinks with no ice.
Same. So I just love the fact that we're here, and then he threatened me and said, oh, I'm gonna hit you with a frog splash. And I had to look at you and I was like, brother, I rolled with you for an hour. At no point did I feel threatened by your pro wrestling acumen.
Might have to hit you with a spear or with an edge.
I'm gonna be honest with you. With the wrestling he's got, that's probably the one he can do.
That's probably the one.
But I did tell him, I was like, well, because you're a pro wrestling fan, I can hit you with pro wrestling moves. And my man made the mistake at one point of being in turtle a little too long. And I was like, brother, almost got pedigreed right here in the middle.
You did tell me that, but
you didn't think that was going to happen?
I think that was going to happen.
Okay.
I cannot allow that.
That's fair. But you know what? You did allow several pins throughout our roll.
Yeah.
Just gonna say. I don't have to tell you guys how it went. It was a good roll, and my man is very competitive. But like, there's a bunch of referees here.
Yeah,
I would have been a 12-time champion. One might have said.
Debatable.
No,
like my little brother says, agreed to disagree. He always goes, agreed to disagree.
The one thing I would say is we were talking a little bit before we got on air, and I was like, I mean, you got pinned, and he goes, I did, and I go, but you did try kicking out, and he's like, I did kick out of a few though. And I go, okay, and then you started thinking about it. You're like, no, it was a strategy, because now I'm realizing if I do kick out, I give up a position, and I go, well, that is the secret of the game, sir.
That's the game.
That is the game.
That is chess.
But you know what? The next time we roll, the stakes now have gotten that much higher. And don't tell me you'll see. I don't have to see anything.
It's a promo.
This dude's trying to cut a promo on me. Like, I'm literally introducing you to this man right now, and he's cutting promos on me. He's already telling you, like, this is a good interview and all, but you want to see the next time we chat. I will tell you this. We had one of those long-ass rolls where time and space is going by, but I got a better understanding of a submission game that I just saw at Sparstar. You are truly gifted. So compliment to your strength and conditioning coaches, to your grappling and MMA coaches, because let's be honest, there's a video that I saw of Ian your MMA coach, who we love, he promoted you to purple belt. And in that video, he was complimenting you and saying you're like a sponge. You had these natural instincts when you came to train with him, and that everything that you've done since has been indicative of that. What did it feel like, one, to hear him say those words when you were getting promoted? Because as it is, all you can do is stand with your hands behind your back and go, I don't know what he's going to say, but that is a pretty cool thing to hear from your coach.
No, yeah, I think, I was trying hard to hold back tears, man.
Oh, man.
I think purple belt, getting that purple belt was like an honor, especially from Ian, a guy like Ian Harris, who's to me has been sort of like a father figure, coming into the game, has always like looked out for me, giving me opportunities to coach, train without any stress on what's how my bills are looking or stuff. So he's definitely invested a lot of time in me, and for him to say words like that, I'm just like, yeah, man, like I'm glad to get some recognition, because I think that hearing a good job, especially after working so hard, like a good job is always like a boost for me, so yeah, man, shout out Ian, Fight Science. Yeah,
I have known Ian for a bit, and I've seen him really work great with a lot of grapplers and fighters over the years. And so I really do believe him when he goes out of his way to talk about somebody like that. So when he makes that point to single you out in that way, what I find when I was rolling with you was that you really truly were like a sponge, because I would make an adjustment and then you would start to learn that, and then you would make adaptations from that. And what I love about rolling with somebody for like an hour is that you get a better understanding of their comprehensive game. Because what I saw on Saturday was really impressive, not only for your insistence on getting a takedown and then finding the path of least resistance and getting some trips rather than trying to over wrestle somebody who looked like they had pretty good balance. But then you had a very smooth finish to finishing a rear naked choke. It looked effortless. And I think if you look at the footage, which we will later, you hear me just go, oh, and we're done. Because more people need more time to set that up. Right. And it felt like your setup began maybe the round before of weighing down on your opponent.
Exactly. Just like you said, just making the adjustments. So looking back at the film, I've seen a couple times I start seeing where I pick up, okay, this is where he's going to stand up, or what arm he posts with. So I start taking away posts. And then there's some times where I was trying to get my hook in. I think earlier in the first round, maybe in the second round, but I slid off the back. So I made that adjustment of being, okay, now I know not to get too high off the back. So whenever I can throw the hook in, try to flatten him out. And then as soon as he flattens out, maybe I could throw an extra hook in. And that's exactly how it played out. And then I just got under his chin. It wasn't even under his chin. It was more like a crank than it was a choke. But as soon as, I have pretty long arms. So as soon as the glove went behind his head, it was kind of no
you knew it was a
fighting.
wrap, at that point.
Especially I was on finish. I flattened him out on top. So I was just, just like, okay, I think I got it. Just squeeze.
I mean, at that point, I like to tell people it's time to just go home. Let's finish this. Let's be done, because don't let him come back into that fight. And he seemed very durable. So you were able to take out a pretty good opponent. So props to you for that. No, I want to ask, for you, what did this win mean? Because we had a very good exchange, and we're going to get into the particulars of that exchange in a minute. But normally when I talk with a fighter after, it's a rush of emotions. So when I'm asking you questions, it almost comes out like a blur.
Yeah.
But now that we've had a week to think about it, what did that win mean to you?
It meant a lot more to me than I think any other win, because to me, I didn't have the confidence going into this fight, like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna win, or I never really had that confidence going into any of my fights, actually. I'm always thinking it's a lose situation. So for me to get that win specifically, especially coming off of a tough win with like a fighter like Elijah Bratton, just kind of helped me like realize that I did learn from that last fight, even though it was a loss, to help me get into like less of a brawl, be able to take care of myself a little bit more, look out for myself for the long run. So I think just being able to be a little bit more calm in that ring. Again, it's a learning experience, this whole amateur game. So I think it's gonna give me some momentum rolling into the new year. So looking for some new fights in January, February.
Let's talk about that, because one thing that stuck out to me as I was doing my research on you for the fight night was I looked down and I was writing out the notes for how many fights you've had. This year, that was your 4th fight,
Right.
correct?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Why so many fights in that year? I know you're trying to make the most out of your experience, but like, what was the compelling reason? Because if you're already talking about getting fights in January, my friend, it is currently December 12th.
Yeah.
We're already looking at a month away when you literally just fought this past weekend. So what has been this push for you, and what has made you want to get out there like on that kind of a fast turnaround?
Basically I took like some time off. I think it was like 2-3 years from my last fight at Sparstar against Jordan Delagrange. And a few days after, actually, I got into an accident, an altercation where I had received like a gunshot to my elbow and my stomach. So just being able to try to recover from that physically and mentally was a lot. So I had to battle through a lot those 2-3 years. One was finding the passion to fight again, if I could even fight again. And then the other thing was just the physical therapy that I had to go through to even recover movement in my arm again. And having full range of motion back, that like I'm just blessed to have God by my side, and being able to come back to come back to a year where I'm doing 4 fights, like if nothing ever happened. So yeah, that's my push for why I'm trying to make up for lost time. Basically, I'm trying to get to a pro level. I'm 25 right now. I'm trying to get within the pro level within like another year or two, so trying to make a push and just be active in that ring, get comfortable in that ring till it's just like another day in the office, so.
Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
I'm going to return to that in a second, but I do want to say I'm happy you're good.
Yeah.
I would like to ask a follow-up question in terms of you saying the recovery time. Was there a possibility you were not going to fight again?
Yeah, a possibility. The possibility was like if where the bullet hit. So basically, the bullet is lodged between 2 joints right now. So I'm just glad that it didn't shatter anything, because that would have been over. But also I was in a situation where I wasn't able to move, so I was just like belly down, and I was thinking the bullet could have just hit my spine and it would have been over there. Like, so from that point I was just like, dang, thank God, like the shooter missed, So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, again, happy you're here, happy you're healthy. You don't roll like you have that. And that brings me to something that I think is important we talk about, because we do this post-match interview. And I'm in the process of getting to know you better. I'm happy to give you a moment, some props. And what ends up happening in my face is, just to tell you from my perspective, you and I are having this discussion, and I'm literally, in wrestling, they call when you hit a finisher and you talk to each other, your opponent in the ring, you're like, let's go home. That means I'm going to hit my finisher and then I'm going to pin you and we go home, right? Or I'm going to hit my submission, you tap, we go home. So imagine my surprise when, from the interview perspective, I'm trying to go home and I say, hey, bud, Do you have any last shout outs you want to do, or what are you trying to do in 2026? Was the exact phraseology I hit.
Right.
Was, what are you planning for 2026? Now, this answer you just gave me right now helps to clarify why it means so much to you.
Right.
But that's not exactly the way it transgressed in the interview. I looked at you and I said, what do you got planned for 2026? You looked at me and you said, I mean, a lot. I mean, I got shot. And I looked at the camera and I looked at you and I thought, brother, we can't leave on that.
Yeah.
But yet I have to wrap up the whole interview now. But I always thought, why did you bury the lead? That should have been the first thing we're talking about. Right. Instead, now I just got to do the weirdo sycophant thing of like, sounds cool. Anyway, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So, okay. Just a pro tip for the future. If you ever do bring that up, try to bring it up earlier than later, because I want to show you, and I think we'll try to overlay this. This is what I put to the people who follow my show. So this is you saying, okay, here's what happened to me. I got shot. And look at the look on my face and tell me if you think I'm in the wrong, because all I could do was signal to the audience, I hear you. I know. I know.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want to be a dick to you. But it did catch me by surprise. Did you register any of that when we were talking?
Nah. I mean, the adrenaline was pumping. So the same thing. My little brother, as soon as I got home, he's just like, and why did you say that you got shot at the end? And I'm just like going, oh man, I don't know.
But did you know you said that?
I think in the moment I was just like, you know what, just like, this is my life. This is like, my life is like a movie. You know what? I just, I got shot. On some gangster stuff.
Like, the amount of questions I had afterwards, I'm like perplexed. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
And then I just knew from my standpoint, I wanted to talk to you more.
Right.
Now, what helps is you have a fight finish, which is always a premium, a hell of a fight. Something already crazy enough was happening in the fight as was.
Right.
And we'll talk about that in a second. But then to lead off with just your normal shout outs. I love my friends. I love my family. This was crazy. It's been a layoff. Got shot. Anyway, peace. Have a good night. And I go, what's happening? So it definitely was something that made me laugh. Let's talk about the actual fight itself, because how many people do you have trying to get you in a buggy choke on a regular occasion, if so?
Probably, I'd like to say, like, I've probably been in a buggy choke once or twice.
Okay.
But just knowing that everything, I kind of knew myself when the man threw up the buggy choke. I was just like, something's tight, At this point, I'm just like, I feel like if I can get myself out of this situation, I just gotta just stand up.
Yeah.
Stood up, and then I was just like, you know what? He's not letting go. As soon as that happened, I was just like, you know what? Time to do what O does, and it just slam this man, because it's MMA.
Yeah.
In this case, in Jiu-Jitsu, I got to put him down softly, and so in this case, I'm just like, they just say don't spike him on the head, and I was trying not to spike him on the head because I was trying to tombstone him. To be honest, I was trying to.
Oh, you're doing exactly what I said.
I was trying to get him to the point where I have him here, and then I was gonna tombstone, but then. In my head, they're just like, you can't spike him on the head. So I got to be able to. It was just gonna be like just a throw,
Well, we joked about it, and I told you, I was like, I tell my students, if you try to buggy choke me, I will tombstone you. I'm within my rights.
Yeah.
And I've picked up a couple of them, and they've been like, wait. I was like, no, I'm not that weak. I can actually lift you guys. Yeah. For you. You didn't hit a tombstone. You hit a Mark Henry World's Strongest Slam 3 times.
Yeah.
And this dude didn't want to give it up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you were well prepared for it. But I know that as opposed to a jiu-jitsu round where you can kind of hit them with gravity
Right.
onto that mat, and it can be unforgiving. I just thought, this dude's really committing to this. And afterwards, you exchanged notes with your opponent, and you were like, yo, I was kind of out.
I was fucking tight. Tight.
But okay, I rolled with you today, and you're very durable. I do have to ask this. Were you trying to hit me with a buggy choke at one point too?
Nah, I don't even know how to set it up. I was probably trying to go with a triangle from the bottom.
Because you looked underneath once I got you into side control, and then you just said buggy choke, and I was like, sir, I think you know what I'm going to do if you try that.
Yeah, I don't even know how to set up a buggy choke, so that's far gone.
Thank God. But you know how to handle one if you get put in one.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay. The buggy choke happens. He attempts it. You get out. From that moment, did you feel like the fight was going more in your favor? Because I'll tell you this much. In my opinion, if somebody slams you a few times, you're going to be a little woozy. It's a big risk move, and it can pay off when it works.
Right.
But I do feel like after the Rotolo twins and Craig Jones and J-Rod brought a lot of attention to it, people whose profession it is to fight were a lot more concerned on like, no, I got to be able to control your hip. I'm going to do some stuff to get out of there. So when you did have that, it didn't seem like you had a little bit of an advantage right after that. Did you feel the momentum swing back in your way?
Definitely. I mean, like I said, a slam takes a lot out of somebody. And I think on the second slam, when we went chest to chest, I felt it. So that's when I was like, this third one, man, you don't let go, it's gonna be both of us. And that's when I was thinking I was gonna throw him out the ring, because I was like, hopefully we reset, but hopefully this is also cool for the crowd, for y'all. You know, so I'll be thinking about y'all out there.
You do? Oh, okay, thank you.
How can I make this entertainment? You know, so it was a pretty cool move. I just slam them. You know, that's the Rampage way.
Hey, man, it got a lot of pops. I think the crowd came alive for it. So you weren't wrong, because, I mean, I think maybe even on the commentary, you hear me and John. I was giggling, I think, because I go, oh, I think he's going to try a buggy choke. That doesn't seem like a good idea. And I'm saying that just because I go, I know what people can do from there.
Right.
And you had enough energy. But to his credit, it was close. It's just I felt the momentum shift. Exactly. And I felt like you had a big opportunity, and you didn't finish him in that round after that. But it was an insane start to this fight. And then from there, I could see you making the adjustments on the takedown. You went to a trip. You got it in the first round, but especially in the second round, once you started kind of feeling that, and you were able ultimately to get the submission finished. So we talked a little bit about what it meant, but now I want to get into what I've seen as the celebration moments. So I have seen on your social media a couple decks of Pokemon cards. Sir, you're under oath here. I'd like to know exactly how many decks we're talking about. In your opinion, just estimate how many decks of Pokemon cards have been your reward for winning this fight.
For winning this fight, I want to say 60 packs at least.
60 packs?
At least that I've opened up in this week. Just because I feel like if I win, you know, I feel like that's luck on my side.
Sure.
I deserve a couple packs.
Okay, but I'm old, so I don't know this world as well. Okay. But you with the boxes?
Yeah.
And like, what is the presentation of that? Because again, don't understand everything about it. But when I see this very bougie looking box presentation, it's just like, bro, I would literally go to the store and just give me packs of baseball cards or Marvel comic cards. Instead, you have what looks like when you go to that sushi restaurant that's like super bougie, and they go like, no, don't touch the food. It melts. And you go, wait, what? They're like, and then it's like a little flower that you get out of it, and you go, you eat this. It's an appetizer. That's what it looked like presentation wise.
You know, it's that new Mega Charizard UPC set. So I had to get the promo. And as a matter of fact, one of my boys, shout out Ray Lightly, my boy Ray, he told me if I beat this dude, then I can he'll give me a UPC for free. So he looked out for me.
Okay. I have recently gotten to train with Roy,
Yeah.
and he was really nice, really cool. I saw him in the crowd. We like connected when I was in the ring, and I was like, oh shit. Okay, good. Because y'all had people fighting everywhere, all over the place. Yeah. But when I connected with him, I was like, oh, cool. He's going to hang out with you, and you guys are going to like do some post celebration. That's going to be amazing. Yeah. And then I saw him making a cameo in your video off air. Yeah. And then I just see you with this presentation of the box, and I go, okay, well, that's a cute celebration. Good for them. But that wasn't the only time you did it. Did you give some of your packs to other people?
Just my little brother, you know. I mean, not to be but I gave him the weak Pokemons. But it's just to get him started, you know. So all the Pokemons that I didn't get, like that I don't like, not the full arts or all that, just the regular Pokemons. You know, he was looking for Pikachus and just the non-holos. I would just give him just the same way that I give them to my to most of the kids at the gym, just to just to get their little collection started.
Hold on, I'm now starting to realize all Pokemon is a pyramid scheme, and that you got them started some ghetto ass cards.
Yeah, ghetto.
You're like, this kid doesn't know any better. Here. Yeah. He's like, oh, I can't wait till I get a Pikachu. You ain't get a Pikachu.
Yeah, you ain't get nothing.
You can get all these whack ass, what appearance Pokemons that are easy to catch. It is so wild to me that something that happened when I was late high school still has a stranglehold on the youth like you and your brother, because these cute little things are plush toys, they're video games, they're interactive things, and I just see it still continuing to happen, and I'm okay with that. But when you get to the trading cards, I'm like, that's a big business. So you were telling me you didn't quite get what you wanted, but have you opened all the packs, or they still have a few that you have yet to open?
I still have some at home. I always collect, so I got a few sitting up on the shelves just in case. But what I really want to get into are the new UFC cards.
Interesting.
Yeah. So UFC has got their own cards, and my boy Carlos, he's a referee. He said he's been collecting them cards since like back in like original UFC days. So that's when I was like, oh dang, like a Chuck Liddell would be cool. You know, people that I grew up watching, like a Leona Machida, stuff like that. Those would be hits, like for me, nostalgia. You know.
Okay. I like this because what people don't know is my man comes in here with Crocs, okay?
Always.
So I know he's comfortable. Crocs. I know he's good.
He is.
He came in after having what I would assume was a safety meeting in his car. Right. But he comes in with the Crocs. He's super relaxed. Yes, and then I started looking at the Crocs. I have some questions based on the giblets from the Crocs.
Those are my brother's Crocs.
Okay.
Those are hand-me-downs, so don't get on me for the charms because I'm not a 49er fan.
I was about to ask. I didn't know if you're a 49er fan.
I got to take that charm off. It's gotten me into some trouble lately.
Really?
It's been getting me into some trouble.
Like not getting shot trouble, right?
Nah. Okay. Just more into like... who's your favorite football team? And then
there we go. See, you have to clarify because of the open-endedness of that variation. I just want to be like, hey, man, when you say it's got me into trouble, now I start thinking like, hey, fam, we're going to make sure you don't wear hats anymore. Okay. So not your team. The 49ers are not your team. Do you have a football team?
Not football, man. I'm more of on the basketball, baseball side.
Who's your basketball and baseball team?
Come on, everything is LA.
All right.
So we're gonna have to go Lakers.
Okay.
Baseball team, you gotta go Dodgers.
Okay, good. Very good. I like hearing these answers.
I'm all LA. Like I'm as LA as you can be, man.
Let me be honest with you. There was a cat who recently, and you guys can go, it's very easy to thumb through these last episodes. One of my most recent episodes, I filmed in October, and this cat is from here. Yeah. But had a New York Yankees hat.
Crazy.
And I had just come from the Ohtani game where he had 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts. We did, but he had the nerve to do the interview in the hat. And I was just like, what are you doing? And I know, like, somewhere deep inside of me, I was like, I don't think he's actually a baseball fan. I think he just likes the hat. So normally I don't wear hats in my interviews, but I just happen to have my Dodger hat that I got from that game. And I was just like, hold on. How are we doing, fam? And this kid doesn't register anything. That's how I know he wasn't a baseball fan. But I just looked at him like, don't show up on my West Coast based talk show and wear a Yankees hat and don't expect like we're going to get back to training again. Just like with you, I had rounds with this guy and they were fun. I was about to be like, hey man, screw the interview. We're training again. And I was about to be like, I'm about to go way harder than I went in those previous rounds. But he's the nicest kid. He goes, oh, I don't care, man. I like the colors. And I was like, I know that. But this was some gang shit that was about to go down here. And I don't think you even knew that. And he goes, oh, damn, is it really like that? I was like, yes, it's sports really like teams are like that. So good. You have passing grades. So like the video games on there, that's not you as well? Or are you a video game guy as well?
I'm a video game dude too.
Okay. What do you play?
Shoot, lately I've been playing more Ark.
Okay.
Ark, what is that? Not Ark Survival, but it's a PvP PvE player game. I also play like Sparkling Zero, Dragon Ball Z. Sometimes I play the old SmackDown versus Raw on the PSP.
Okay. Who's your person on there? Are you playing Rey Mysterio as well?
I'm playing Batista.
Oh,
come on, man. Yeah, I'm playing Batista on that one.
Do you ever fancy yourself making an entrance like Batista in one of your MMA fights?
I've thought of WWE entrances. I've thought of the Triple H. I've thought of the maybe coming out to the Aliyah Chia Steele, Lady Girl.
My God.
If I could make an entrance with a lowrider one day, that's the dream. I made it.
Brother, oh my God. If you do that, this guy on commentary will put you over. I have on occasion told people, and I'm very honest about this, I'm like, if somebody has a better walkout song, sometimes I'm like, I'm so sorry, other person. I'm going for this guy just based on walkout songs. And I have seen people who have played shit that would be played at the Asada. And I'm like, oh no, they're playing some deep cuts at my fucking Theo's house as their walkouts. Urge to not be Mexican on broadcast. Rising, no. And so I really have to try to be as impartial as possible. But I can tell you, the minute somebody has a Mexican song with horns, I'm like, dude, I don't know this young man, but I think I'm rooting for him.
Nah, man, that's what gets our blood pumping.
It does. But like, it's hard to explain because it is culture. Not everybody subscribes to that thing. They're like, and that, dude, we get plenty of people who aren't Mexican who are like, I love that. I love like, what is one of my homies goes, oh, and La Chona comes on, like that's my song. And I go, you know what? You get a pass. You can play with us. That's fine. But I know that for me, presentation is everything. So I like that. The reason why I asked this is as follows. Because we obviously talked a little bit about the pro wrestling side, the presentation side. And what I found so fascinating about you is that, yeah, you said that you would play Eddie Guerrero, you'd play SmackDown, you'd play all these different things. But for me, you seem kind of mild-mannered. So I don't know that there's this presentation side that I didn't see because you were so chill and relaxed. That I'm like, oh, the performer side of you intrigues me. So if you got a lowrider, that'd be a way to do it. But have you thought about other walkout songs? You went out to Kanye. We talked about that off air. I thought that was a solid choice.
Yeah, Kanye. I mean, I always have a playlist of like just walkout songs. And it's usually just what sticks. Sometimes it's not even, I ask people what's going to be the walkout songs. I take their recommendation because sometimes it's not about getting me hyped. Sometimes it's about, like you said, the presentation. So sometimes it's about getting my people hyped. And if I can get my people hyped and pick a song, then I just play that song for like a whole week. Visualize the shower, visualize the walkout, and then, okay, now it's time. So when I hear the music play, I get the nerves kick away. It's just, I'm comfortable. I'm just coming out. So this time it was just No Church in the Wild, which, you know, I think that was supposed to be my last walkout song. and they somehow messed that up. So I was just like, you know what? My brother said, you should do that song. So I was like, all right, let's do it.
That's fair. And I'm glad you were able to amend that. As somebody who works deep production, I can tell you, I was recently talking to a promoter and they had mentioned that they had a DJ, not the one we just were a part of, by the way, or not the one you were just a part of before that. But they had mentioned that they went up to the DJ and it was the DJ's first time doing one of these kind of MMA events.
Yeah.
And they were like, cool, we're going to give you the walkout songs. And the DJ's like, I don't need those. And the look on my face was legitimately, as a producer and an executive producer for other shows, I was like, that would not have gone well for him. Yeah. And they're like, dude, we were trying to tell him, like, hey, they picked these walkout songs. And this dude's like, no, I got it. And I go, brother, I was speaking for them. I was like, I didn't pick you to play my daughter's quinceañera. I paid you to put the songs on. Yeah. That's the gig. Have you watched any fight? And they saw me getting heated up. And I was like, I'm so sorry that you guys had to do this. But if I was a fighter, every once in a while, you don't get the song you picked. And that's kind of a bitch. It happens. Yeah. Things in production come crazy. It can be a wild thing. But to have a DJ legitimately go, no, I'm good, thank you, was like, sir, these are fighting words to me.
Go talk to the fighters in the back. I bet everybody was pissed that day.
You know, I would love to retroactively go back and talk to those fighters. But good Lord. Oh, I was so mad. Okay, so we talked about the different little chains and the giblets there. So we do know that doesn't represent you in all totality. Okay, good. I'm glad we have discovered this, because to me, I was casing it and I was just kind of like, oh, I'm going to make notes. Instead, my man sold out his little brother real quick and was like, nah, that's him.
Nah, bro.
That's the...
I'm just trying to get him started. Hey, that's what they did to me. You know, they hype you up with, you know what? It's the quantity, but for us, when we're older, it's the quality.
That's fair. That is a good assessment there. Very good for you. All right, let's go to some origin story here, because this is your first time on this show.
Right.
I would love to know, you kind of alluded to it, but where does sports begin for you? Like, what are you playing first? Because we talked a little bit off air and you were very clear on saying you were playing a bunch of other sports. So you did have some success in other sports before you found your way into MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. So what were you playing initially?
Right. I used to play high school basketball. So I played JV for Crenshaw High School. And that's kind of where I started just being competitive. And, you know, you go to practice, you do what you're supposed to do at practice, but it never just end there. It always just, you know, let's go do more work. You know, so that's where my work mentality comes from, of and that just carried over to whatever sport I wanted to play. Whether it was running, I used to do cross country too, so that helped me with a lot with my cardio, as well as I did swimming in college, so that definitely helped me. So mixing that up with even tennis, I did a little bit more for like footwork, learning how to pivot, backhand, all that stuff. So just trying to be an all-around athlete was always the goal. The goal has always been to be a professional athlete. So just bouncing around from each sport. You know, I take a few things from each sport that's helped me in wrestling, that's helped me in jiu-jitsu, whether it's the ideas, the ideology of the sport, or just like my favorite thing that I take away from basketball is just like defense turns into offense. So that I feel like translates perfectly into like fighting, where it's, people think it's an offensive game, but it's really a self-defense. You know, it's not self-offense. So for me, it's always like, okay, how can I play this defense to make it turn into offense, because defense wins championships. So that's always stuck with me from my coach Waters, from like back in the day in high school. Yeah.
When you were growing up, where did you grow up? You said Crenshaw, right? Was that high school you were playing for, or was it different somewhere else?
Yeah, so I went to Crenshaw High School, but I stayed more towards like mid city.
Okay.
So the high school around there would be LA High.
Okay.
And I tried to do everything to stay away from LA High. Yeah, so I went over to like Hamilton. And then I transferred over to Crenshaw to play basketball. Got kicked out of Crenshaw, and then started doing homeschool. And then I just finished up earlier, and then I ended up going to college for some time, and that's kind of where my MMA journey began because in college it wasn't really my thing to listen to the professors and all that stuff, but I love to learn. Like my thirst for knowledge has always been there. Like I've always been uh passionate about learning, just not under somebody that doesn't even know how to teach. So I'm really big on even me now teaching. It's like somebody can just teach you a 1 2 3, show you a 1 2 3, or explain to you why. Why 1 2 3, what's in between that, the double jabs, the 1 2s, the 3 check hook. So breaking everything down to why we do things. Yeah.
I think honestly the hardest thing that people do in MMA is finding the right coach. So I think what you discovered in college was I don't have the right coach. Like I don't have the right person that can work with me. So it's one of the things that I carry as a coach, which is I'm usually teaching 12 different ways in one class. Yeah. Because I recognize the learning disabilities of all of my students. So I when I walk in, I go, oh, this kid has ADHD. This kid just has ADD. This kid doesn't like to read. This kid doesn't ever want to watch tape. Exactly. And you start learning how to work around their different learning styles and types. And then you recognize you're like, I'm going to cluster this for some, this for some, and this for some. And this is going to be for the sensory people, the people who have to kind of touch or drill. And then this is going to be my live group people who are just like, just give me the concept, the bullet points, and let me do my thing. And then there's like another experience. It's almost like a hybrid between the two, but is designed to be so engaging that they're going to ask more questions where that they have a mastery of it. So sometimes people are like, I want to be told. Some people are like, I want to figure it out for myself. And then some people are like, I don't even know what to ask if I did want to try and do that move. Yeah. So trying to navigate those things is always a difficulty for any instructor. But I think what you found at this particular college experience, if I'm hearing you right, was just, hey, man, none of these people speak to me and I'm paying for this. So why do I want to waste my time? And the good news is, if you have like a coach Ian or a coach Andy, you're like right away, scientists, right there with them. Got it. So it wasn't that you weren't receptive to somebody who would talk about the sciences. It's that you didn't find the person that was going to work for you. And honestly, as a person who failed classes in college, not because I wasn't smart, I just didn't like it. And I remembered being like, yo, and I remember my dad being like, did you fail a class? And I was like, they fucking suck. Like, I don't want to be here. And he's like, why didn't you just drop out? And I was like, it was too late. I thought I could give him a chance. And I remembered being like, because I was a pretty good student, it was jarring to have that. But I told my dad, I was like, I have to experience everything. Like, I have to feel what this is. And I knew college would be good for me, but I also knew that at times college didn't love me. And I was like, no, I know it's good for me. It's just, that's not going to be everybody's journey. So when I hear somebody saying that, as wild as it might be to parents or people who love you that are like, you need to go in there and just tough it out. It's like you might have saved yourself years of years of wasting your time where you're like, no, I found my teachers. They were in mixed martial arts. Right. So maybe that cut down on the amount of time. Who knows? Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about once you do start coming to MMA. Do you remember your very first jiu-jitsu class experience?
Yeah. Just like it was yesterday, man. I feel like it's kind of like everybody's story, right? You walk into a jiu-jitsu gym. Well, in my case, it was an MMA gym. And traditionally, I grew up taking a few taekwondo classes, so I know what the gi is. I know how to bow and all this stuff, bring respect. So that's what I was looking for when I kind of came into martial arts, was just the traditional aspect of like bowing onto the mat and you know uh having a sensei and all that stuff. So my first experience was putting on the gi, and then yeah, it was Coach Derek, um, and he kind of was just rolling with me a little bit, kind of like what we did,
Mhm.
just flow roll,
Yeah.
seeing what I do, and at any point that I felt like I had him, he would just pull out a submission. So from like everywhere, so I try to get him, I try to get him. Day one, he was just submitting me, submitting me, submitting me, and then my thirst for competition, I'm like, I can't let this man do this to me. I had ego at the point. At that point, I still had ego, so I was just like, you know what, I can't let this man. So I have to just give it all my heart.
Mhm.
And you know how it is when you got heart, but you don't got the skill yet.
Yeah.
So I made it a point to come back and keep trying it, keep failing, keep getting tapped out until eventually, I always call it a map, right? I start off with my map. I don't really have too many routes. Probably have like 3 routes. And now I've expanded my map to be like 10, 15 routes, and I'm still going. So my first experience was just being able to get tapped on that first day and then just being able to eat it and come back the next day and be like, you know what? It ain't gonna happen again. So I just that thirst, has gotten me to the point where I'm at now, and just and that's why it brings me satisfaction when somebody brand new comes in, and that way I get to teach them. Like it's very humbling
Mhm.
when you first come into the gym and you're just like, I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
And they put you against the smallest girl, and the little girl's just on your back, and you just can't do nothing. So very humbling, and that's why I owe my life to this game. It's humbled me a lot.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people, especially my students, they'll be the first to tell you that they all went from I got this old man to like, what?
Yeah.
And I told them, I'm like, do you want to know something worse? And they're like, what? And I go, I wasn't even
I
trying
wasn't
that day.
trying. Yeah.
I was like,
This
I'm
is
gonna
the
be honest
best
with you.
part.
I just wanted you to have fun.
Yeah.
And when it looked like I was having more fun than you were having fun, that's when you go, how do I come back here and have that fun?
Right.
And what I really could tell from like very competitive people is I go, there's different ways to motivate people. Like if you're hyper competitive, so you have that in you,
Yeah.
there's a healthy way to extract that out of you.
Right.
It just takes a willingness to intersect with the right coach and style. And if those two things come together, the sky is the limit.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes you might have a willingness and somebody might be like, I don't like this dude. This dude's got a bad attitude. He's too competitive. That doesn't mix.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for you, kind of coming this route, how do you find your way to Coach Ian? Because what's been fascinating about you and him is that you have been with him since day one for your journey, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like, so he's been essentially with you for your whole MMA journey from start to where you are now. How did you guys sync up?
It started with just me going to his gym, and then I think I was at his gym for about a year until he invited me into like the team training, where he was like, "Man, this kid's pretty tough." So I just kind of floated in there, and then fighting with fighters like Ghost Pepper, Chris Taco, um, yeah, guys like that, helped me improve, and then on top of that, just the chemistry that me and Ian had, like him coaching, he would always break things down in the best ways that he can, to where I kind of have a same teaching style as him now, just because I've been around him so much. I kind of know how he teaches. I kind of know his system and stuff. So yeah, man, just just having that relationship with him and being able to trust him, so that when I'm in the ring, man, I just hear his calls. Sometimes I don't hear it, and or sometimes I do hear it and I just try to tune it out. But it's a balance of the chemistry that we have that has gotten me to where I'm at right now.
That's really fortunate that it lucked out that way, because so many people spend so much time not finding the right coach, or they're still like the way that we talked about with professors in college. They're like, this just doesn't work for me.
Right.
So I am happy that you kind of had that. I am curious, and this might be a 2-for-1 question, but we always ask people here, when did you know you fell in love with jiu-jitsu? So when did you know that you fell in love with this in a way that you wanted to do it as more than just a hobby?
Jiu-jitsu was kind of like day one. Was just day one. Like I said, the being able to tie my belt, the traditional line up on the wall, bow in, everybody's lined up from rank. It's kind of like in the military, kind of like just the hierarchy, and then just everybody kind of knowing their place. And I'm just like, okay, I can. It gave me direction in life, because where I was going, it was just no direction. So it gave me like, you have to do this, you have to do this. Help me out, doing my laundry. Laundry's a big thing in jiu-jitsu. Right? Laundry's the biggest thing in jiu-jitsu. So being able to try to doing all your laundry every 2-3 days, before it builds up, making your bed, doing all these little forms of discipline daily, So and then just hitting my first competition, when I started figuring out that I was good at it, naturally good at grappling. That's when I was just like, oh, I don't have to think. You just show me and I just kind of do it, And then again, like, since I grew up watching WWE wrestling, so it was just all kind of natural.
Yeah.
I already knew these positions. I just didn't know what they were called. I just knew these positions. So it always just came natural for me, especially when I was in the jumper, playing with my brother, and we're over here body slamming each other, putting them again in the Boston Crab, or giving them an FU, choke slams, all that,
I do ask this for people who are like this, though. So you don't have an older brother, you just have a younger brother?
No, I do have an older brother too.
So did you get the same treatment from him?
So me and him are like 5 years apart.
Okay.
So we wouldn't wrestle as much. He was kind of already in like middle school, going into his swag, dealing with girls and stuff.
Sure.
While me and my little brother, we're always just like, but he was the one that put us on to all the wrestling.
Really?
Yeah. So like, not even just like the wrestling that we grew up to. It was the wrestling that he grew up to. So the Chris Benoit's, the Eddie Guerrero's.
So the finer education.
Yeah.
So he didn't try to beat you up, though, or you didn't have to take the fall for him.
Nah, he was always just doing big brother things. He'd do real fighting.
Oh,
so
wow. He was getting in a real fight.
He was getting into the fight.
You know what? Honestly, now that makes a lot more sense, because if your brother's like, yo, wrestling with your family is not where it's at. I'm trying to not fight with people in real life.
No, yeah, he was a little cholito. So,
oh man,
so he was trying to be on the square ups rather than like, oh yeah, that wrestling stuff. He already knew it was fake, quote unquote. When everybody would tell me it's fake, I'd be like, how is it fake though? He's slamming him like he's bleeding. How do you not see this? So I'm just like, he was just on his own thing.
That's fair.
While we were doing the jumper.
But meanwhile, you got your little brother. So we always call it who takes the fall. So your brother probably had the worst jobber record of all time. So we're talking.
It's crazy that you figured that out too.
Well, it's an older brother thing. Because if you're doing the thing, we've determined this with a lot of our friends, which is, if you never said who was going to win, you were essentially rolling then.
Yeah.
So when you start realizing that it's a show, and you get to be an age, and if you're still kind of scrapping with your friends, if you're replicating what you see on TV, in order to make some of the moves work, you kind of have to have an assistance there. Yeah. So then the question is, who takes the fall? Yeah. So did you ever take the fall for your little brother?
I gave him some I gave him some confidence because I felt bad sometimes. You feel bad when you're winning constantly, and at some point I had to build up his confidence.
Sure,
So,
sure.
so there were some times that I didn't kick out. Sure, like probably once or twice, but I didn't let that get to his head. Then it was my turn from day on. All right, cool. You won that one. Like
So here's what I want to ask. What was the finisher you sold then? Because most people don't admit this. We're actually getting somebody on record saying
yeah,
they sold. So what was like the finisher you were willing to take from him? Because this tells me a lot about your creativity.
yeah,
Because think about it. Just like real pro wrestlers, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not losing to that move."
yeah.
I'm sure you probably had the no, I'm not getting choke slammed by you. I'm not
No,
I'm not
yeah.
taking the pin that way. So what did you sell for him?
It either have to be a splash or a spear.
Okay.
Because he was a littler, so
Yeah,
he couldn't
yeah.
really pick me up, So it'd have to be a splash or a spear. So whether it was a frog splash or a spear from Batista, Goldberg, Rhino, whoever it was, or sometimes even a chair shot. Sometimes you gotta share.
Okay, and
Yeah,
wow, and you know what? That really shows he was kind of a heel at heart,
right.
because the good guys never have to use a chair
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Chair,
Okay.
bell, whatever
Okay.
it was.
Wow.
Sometimes we even had the little popcorn tins,
Yeah.
and then we take the
You get that?
just so it makes a mark.
way.
You
Brother,
know, boom.
You want to know something funny? So every year we do a thing called WWE BJJ. And I want to say like 6 years ago, the owner here, he came.
Yeah.
We did one with my buddy. And we had built up my buddy and I to have a rivalry. Now, this dude's a very solid jiu-jitsu competitor. And I always try to protect them.
Right.
Like, if we ever have a match, it's like, dude, I can't make you look too bad. It's got to be kind of a good back and forth.
Yeah.
There's got to be a good story to tell, because you're also an active competitor. So it's
Right.
got to be like, we're not just making you look like shit unless it's humorous in nature. So I was trying to figure out a way to make him job without looking bad. And then he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, take this cookie sheet and hit me in the head." And I'm like, "We're not 11 anymore. I can't do that." And he's like, "No, it won't hurt." And I go, "Dude, I know we do this as adults, but the joke is supposed to be that we know better."
Yeah.
And we're now approaching the ironic part of it. He's like, "No, man, full force, hit me with this cookie sheet."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "I'm not doing that." And
that's thick.
Well, he found one, to his credit, that was kind of more foily.
Okay, the foil ones.
Yeah,
I know what
but the thing is, I could still hear a whenever you heard it. So I go, why are we doing this? And he's like, "Man, it's gonna go crazy." I'm just thinking, like, this is a stupid detail. So I'm glad that you figured out the logic of that.
Yeah.
Do you have a proudest finisher that you hit him with? Because when you're a kid, you don't have the strength you have now. Like now you're able to pull off moves that you probably couldn't pull off then. But did you have one that you were especially proud of?
Especially, I'm going to have to do, like, if it was a lift carry, because he was a pretty big kid, like pretty big little kid.
Oh, really?
I'd have to do like Batista bomb, but like from the beginning, like being able to get him up, rather than just kind of like having him, okay, you're on the edge of the bed, let me pick you up type.
Yeah.
That one's easy. It's the being able to get the jump right, get him up, or to me also the swanton.
You were doing a swanton back then?
We were breaking beds.
Oh my! So what did your family say to this stuff, dude?
No wrestling. They were against wrestling.
So they told you couldn't do it, and you were doing it anyway.
Yeah, we were kind of them kids.
Oh man!
I'm telling you, we had a lot of broken beds to the point where my dad had to put plywood and reinforce it on the bottom every like 2-3 days.
Can you give me your best retelling of what you told your dad? Because anybody who's been in this spot knows you never gave the real answer. You always gave a story of some sort. So what did you tell your dad when like the bed broke like that?
What can you say? You just kind he I can't even say nothing because he just walks in mid break and you just kind of like looking at each other. Like who's gonna take the blade?
So not only is this poor little brother not winning a match, it's just like he did it.
Like dang,
it sucks that you did that.
Yeah, we know we're in trouble because now it's just like, I mean, hopefully we play it off like that'll just be us just stopping and then we'll go do our thing.
So because you played sports, I guess it kind of makes sense. You're a little travieso, so it's kind of like, okay, that makes sense. But did your family breathe a sigh of relief when they found out all of those bed breaks, all of those wrestling moments paid off because you are a fighter now? And arguably, maybe it taught you some toughness back then that you didn't know you had.
Hey, you hear that, Dad? It was worth it.
Listen, I'm being honest here because think about it. It doesn't seem good at the time.
It doesn't.
And
he didn't know what he was training
but
for.
No kids ever know what they're going to get into. And I was a safe worker.
Yeah.
So when I would wrestle with my friends, I had a couple that I could move around. And then for one of my homies, he could pick me up deadlift. Like I didn't have to assist him for a power ball. He could just lift me. And I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
So it's a mix. But what I did find was anytime you tried to tell a parent like what happened, they knew you were lying.
Ooh. Yeah.
But now for your story, you needed something to channel your aggression. You needed something to have as a healthy outlet, and you did find it. Yeah. So what did your parents say when you told them you were going to start fighting?
Find a different job.
Really? Yeah. They were not a fan of it.
Hell no, they still not a fan of it. They'd always be like, that's like it's cool, but now I think that they're starting to see the hard work paying off.
Good.
So now that they're, one, my mom doesn't want to see her kid get punched in the face, and then my dad just he's always been rooting for me. So, yeah, man. My parents just hate me doing this.
I will be honest. It sounds like they split down the traditional parent way of the dad secretly rooting for you while also being a parent and concerned for the well-being of his child, while the moms traditionally don't love this. Having said that, though, have met a number of moms that are psycho and are just like, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
And I go, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Blank. Relax.
Yeah.
Don't make your kid unnerved.
Yeah.
They're 9 and they're competing in jiu-jitsu. They're not fighting yet. Yeah. But I do try to encourage people to, I've had some parents come to see their kids of all ages, and especially when they're like teens, late teens, or early adults, and they go to watch their kids. And I try to warn them, it's good to be encouraging, but don't treat it as more than what it is. Like, it's a fun experience. Give them encouragement and watch them grow, but you don't need to critique them. Like, that's my job. Yeah. Let me help them get to another place. They will remember if you were in their corner and you were there. And that will speak volumes in the future. And they're always like, okay, I hear you. And then sometimes they might start coaching and I'm like, no, I promise you, they're not looking at you for that. They need you to be a parent. And nowhere was that more evident than even just that when Bisping had his kid.
Oh man, yeah.
At the same fight. So just in case you guys didn't hear this, Bisping's son fought on the same card he was on that I was commentating. Yeah. And Bisping let the coach of his son do most of the work until the first round ended, where his son questionably lost that round and got reversed. And then he went up and goes, hey, gave him advice, and then stood back again.
Right.
So that's a little different when you got a UFC
dad.
Dad. I think maybe you do want to hear a little bit of notes from him. He does have an edge. But most parents who've never trained are just going to be like, hey, let's get out there. Let's win.
Yeah.
And you go, got it, Dad.
No, yeah. I actually met Callan on a movie set.
Did you really?
Yeah. So seeing him there, I was just like, man, you're fighting now?
Oh, that's dope.
It was kind of like, what are you doing in my world? Because
look how full circle this has come. It's like, wait. You do this for fake. What are you doing in my world for
what
real?
Are you doing for real? Because I know he always had a really good wrestling background. Because when we were on set, he was the one doing the wrestling. So it's just kind of weird because when I was on set, they would just go Michael Bisping's kid. I just knew him as Callan. I was just like, oh yeah, that's that guy.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He seemed really nice, and I was happy he won. getting to talk to him afterwards, it was unique in the sense that I never expected something like that to happen.
Yeah.
But MMA is a crazy world. Things happen all the time. Yeah. So it was kind of dope to be the music for his first fight. And that'll be something that I hope he remembers. And, you know, he kind of was elusive on if he would do it again. Right. And he's welcome to do it. I mean, he's getting his business degree. I'm sure he's got bigger and better aspirations for other things. Yeah. But, you know, if he does come back, it is nice to know he's got a good foundation and a good team to go through. So
the game will always be there.
Absolutely. Having said that, though, this does explain so much of my man over here being such a geek about all those pro wrestling moves, making his poor brother. You know what? That's why that brother deserves all of those Pokemon cards.
All the praise, man.
So wait, is there another younger brother?
So I got 4 younger brothers.
4 younger brothers. Hold on. Now let's go through the list. Have they all been like chokeslammed or beaten up? Because now that you're so much older, I feel like they've all gotten a peg of going down the list and taking finishers.
I think my little brother Diego got the worst of it, but we definitely have instilled roughhousing.
Okay.
You know,
which is good.
You know, it's a brother thing.
It's learning how to take not punishment, but like take a hit.
Exactly.
And get up.
Exactly. So just being on that and just, you know, doing that with my brother Miguel, Kevin, and then my little brother David, you know.
Okay.
Just so that we're not soft, you know. We from LA. We can get that.
Let me make sure I understand this. Did you and your brother become a tag team? Is that what happened? And you're taking on the little brothers now?
So we were supposed to be the greatest tag team of all time. We were supposed to be the next Jeff and Matt Hardy.
Okay.
Team Extreme.
Okay. Yeah. What happened?
Shit. we grew up.
Yeah, I was about to say.
There was no audition, you know. Vince McMahon didn't hit my line.
I like that you're like, we grew up. No, you went into real fighting. Arguably, not quite sure if it's a better or worse choice still yet, but I like that you were like, the dream was we were going to be a tag team and, you know, we were going to go kill it. But then it looks like you got these new competitors that came up and you guys weren't taking advantage of the fact. You couldn't even let your brother get the win over the younger kids.
I couldn't.
Man, that's rough, dude. To all of the little brothers, though, just know I got him for you guys today.
We need y'all to take the fall.
I mean, he didn't want to take any of those falls.
Any of those falls,
but there were plenty. You know what? I think I got one for every time he beat you guys up. So at first I was like, this is all fun and games. I didn't know I was doing a hero's mission today. I was getting him back for all the times he beat you guys up. And the best part is, you can tell he was rusty because the first time it happened, when he didn't kick out, and I had warned him, I'm like, oh, when I pass guard, I'm 100% hit like a cradle and hit a pin. And I count this pin, and he's like, wait, oh, and he starts laughing. Second time, wasn't laughing. 12th time, it was a rough day at the office for him. Let's put it that way.
He just said mine didn't count because I am pinned.
You have to count. Do you not understand?
I had you for like 100 seconds.
You said 100 seconds. You count it in your head. Yeah, okay. That's how pro wrestling works.
1, 2, 3.
Because here's the thing. The whole reason we do this gimmick
6
is that you have to hit the mat in some way that is counting it. So you give the opportunity to kick out. And you did kick out. So you understood the game. You just couldn't master the game. So that's what I'm saying. Little brothers, I got you. What's the little brother you beat up on?
Diego.
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 You know what? We're going to be a tag team. Forget him. It's me and you now, bud. Yeah. And I think together we could take him. So we're good.
An army to take me down.
Actually, it didn't. You know what I mean? I will show you the tape and we will go over the study. And you know what? Now that I know, I'm like, bro, now I know the combination finisher. Do you ever see when Chris Jericho and Chris Benoit did the Walls of Jericho and Crippler Crossface combination? So they do like a Boston Crab, a Walls of Jericho. They sit on the back. And then Chris Benoit would do the Crippler Crossface
as a tag team.
As like a tag team submission. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Brady and I hit that on the gym owner here. Because every once in a while, like Brady takes the fall when we roll. I'm like, sorry, Brady, but I'm older and I get the call.
Yeah.
And so one time when he was here, I was like, we're a tag team now. He's like, yeah. I was like, I want you to hit Milton with a crippler crossface. And he's like, I don't really know him. I was like, I didn't ask.
I don't really know. Oh, and he answers.
Because Brady is such a Brady thinks he's a heel.
Yeah.
The biggest baby face you'll ever meet. Because Brady's the type of person who like asks permission to be a heel. Like, oh, can I be a heel in this match? It's like, that's not how being a heel works. So I'm glad that is the case. I do want to know this though. And again, I think you have answered it in different ways, but I would like a definitive answer on, we got when you fell in love with jiu-jitsu.
Right.
But why did you feel the need that you had to do MMA? It felt like you were probably pretty happy on this martial arts journey once you found maybe something that was missing, whether it was the regimen of coming in and there's, a traditional lineup and everybody respects each other. You found a forum for your aggression and competitiveness, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to compete in mixed martial arts as a fighter. When did that sort of seep in, and what really promoted that feeling within you to do it?
I think when I started just being able to have the confidence. I think when you do martial arts, there's a confidence that you kind of find. So I think it was by when I started being a blue belt that I found confidence in just defending myself. And then obviously I was always hyper competitive. So I started off with the jiu-jitsu tournaments, and then I thought I could be good all around. So I started doing the like point sparring, kickboxing. And then from there I was just like, oh, you know what? This is fun. Win or lose, it's fun. And then initially it was just like a different feeling when you get under the camera and the lights. It's like, okay, now it's time to perform, because sometimes what we do in the training room isn't what we do in the ring.
Yeah.
So learning that, and then just the life lessons that martial arts teaches you within as you grow. Sometimes I've had battles where I'm just like going through my own demons. And then there's camps where I'm like, everything is going perfect. And you probably still don't get the loss. I mean, the win. You probably, a lot of factors go into fighting. So again, the life lessons, the fact that it's giving me the opportunity to make money off of it. Right now it's just little, but the goal is to go pro, make 2 checks. So in this AMI, just getting the experience, getting the recognition from different promotions, getting my fan base, so that when I go pro, I can make pretty decent living off of this. And I'm just willing to go to do what I got to do to just go as far as I got to go, climb that mountain. And cause when I look back, back at how much I've done, and I'm like, God damn, it's a disservice to just give up now, especially to the people that believe in me, my dad, my mom, my brothers. Yeah, man. So the goal has always been to get us a house, get us a house as a family. Have some spending money, nothing crazy, but just make some good investments, and hopefully just take care of my future.
Well, it definitely answers a lot more of the why. You aren't just fighting for yourself.
Yeah.
You want to fight for a better way for your whole family, and you want to bring them with them. That's really cool and admirable, and it speaks to why you've only got 2 losses on your record, but you're always fighting with your heart, and you can see that. So it also means that when you do get those wins, that's why it means something to you, and that it's kind of going back to the original question I started with in the interview, is like, what did it mean to you for this win? And you were talking about the highs and the lows and coming back. So it also answers the question of when you were sidelined, the possibility of not being able to fulfill that for your family, I'm sure, made it all the more like, let's find a way.
Yeah.
And then when you do find a way, you do get that win. You do have this epic, incredible, crowd-friendly, big fight. It has to feel good to not only deliver that for your team, your support system, your friends and family, but then for yourself to know you're on that right track and that you are continuing to put in the work that'll make you a very good professional fighter.
Exactly what you said. And also just to double back on that, it's just the sideline part is another reason why I'm just like, dang, I actually have the opportunity, if I'm healthy, I can actually have the opportunity to fight, because when I was in that situation, I couldn't move my arm and I couldn't really throw punches. And I was just focused on recovery. I was just like, dang, at this point, I want to do this, but I can't. So that really pushed me to when I can do it, I'm gonna do it. So
it is entirely wild how certain freedoms or things that you take for granted, the minute they get pulled away from you, you think, well, there's no way I'm not going to do it now. Like now I have to do it. No, so I very much resonate with that. And we'll thank you for sharing all that.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do. I did remember I brought up video games for a particular reason. And as we do start to close this down, the reason I brought it up is there was another clip I saw of you as I was doing my research. And the way that Super Mario Brothers, the theme song, triggered you in that clip. Do you mind describing why? Just for people who don't know, you were somewhere where somebody was playing it on like a xylophone or something.
Yeah.
And they were playing the Super Mario Brothers theme. And you were talking all throughout it because you were having such a sensory overload.
Yeah.
And you were describing to people like, that's my shit. I love that song. So when we brought up video games a little bit earlier, I forgot to ask the follow-up question.
Yeah.
How did you run into this person and why did it trigger that particular feeling at that time?
I ran into that dude like right after the bar, right after just celebrating. It was just the night was coming to an end. I was going home and this dude was like packing up. It was somewhere in Culver City. He was packing up his xylophone and he was just jamming out. So like on the way out, I just told him, bro, like just play your most biggest hit that you can. And he was like, I got you. Little did I know he was going to play Super Mario Bros. And then that's when I had the nostalgic moment of, no way you just did that, bro. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that. And then it just went crazy. Like, it just went crazy. Mainly because I never had the Wii or the Game Boy. It was always like we'd go to the swap meet and we'd buy one of those games that had like 1,000 games. And Super Mario, all of them were on it. So like that was the game I'd always go to because it was Mario. It was like a Nintendo brand game. All the other ones were kind of like Pac-Man or all this other stuff, But Mario was that dude. So that first level, I'd always try to skip the levels. I'd skip through the worlds and stuff, go through that tube, skip through the world. So when he played that, I was just like, I was with my older brother. It was just a good moment. And they just so happened to catch that on camera. I was drunk, but yeah.
I mean, I picked that up, but that didn't take away the very guttural, real action you had to it because that reaction you had of you just vibing with that guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was the same night. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I didn't put it together. And if there's any night you're supposed to go get drunk after you win a fight, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But like the way you were just talking to that dude, it was so... When I do research, I try to find people at their purest essence.
Right.
So when I found Coach Ian talking about you,
Right.
I didn't know if you were going to cry in that one, but it was you being described at your core essence.
Right.
When I saw that version of you, I didn't know you were drunk, but I just knew. I was like, it's in this man so strongly. He's over talking this man playing. So maybe he's drunk, but that it brought out something in you. And there's always like well, why? So when we bring up those particular things, I guess I wasn't wrong in assuming that was kind of a cool moment for you, especially on a night where you had these incredible highs.
Right.
So then it feels like almost the perfect way to cap off your night.
Yeah. It was legit like a perfect storm. That whole night, Pokemon, Mario, drinks, a win, it all just played in my favor, and thank God,
Well, hopefully the first of many more to come as well. But
yes,
that was a particularly fun night to call that fight. It was really interesting to me that I reached out a couple days later and I was like, I'd like to do an interview because there was obviously the moment that we had where you talked about getting shot. And I just look at the camera and I go, that's kind of funny. But all of those things reinforced my initial belief. I think he'd be an interesting person to talk to because that's stuff I couldn't get in a 3.5 minute interview post cage. And I think I was right.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to put a button on this conversation.
For sure.
And what I want you to do is I want you to look at that camera. That is your camera right ahead. And when you look at it, I want you to thank any sponsors, any friends, family members, teammates, coaches who helped you to be the fighter that you needed to be to get the win last Saturday at SparStar. So the camera is going to turn to you, sir. That is all you now.
Shout out to Fight Science MMA. Shout out to Ian Harris. Shout out to Fighters Feeding Friends. Shout out to the Elite Smith, Andy, down at Forge for helping my strength and conditioning. Shout out Chris Ward Taco for helping me in striking in this camp and just reminding me to take full 9 minutes, be patient. Yeah, and shout out to Oaxaca, man. Shout out to Mexico for just keeping my man, keeping me 10 toes down, keeping me grounded. Every time I get a win or I feel I'm so overwhelmed, I go to Oaxaca to just clear my mind. So shout out there. Yeah.
Good man.
A lot of people there. And then shout out Pa, Ma, my brothers. Thank you for helping me this camp running. Maria, thank you. Yeah.
Especially you, Diego.
And Diego.
I feel so bad for you.
And Diego.
Diego, we learned so much about how much you had to endure. You know, Diego, I think this speaks well. You also probably could have had a pretty good jiu-jitsu career if you...
He's pretty big man, so he'll be able to hold somebody down. He's a good wrestler, definitely. Check him out, Diego.
That's what's up, Diego. Shout out to you. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break here in a second, and we're going to do the post part. So if you do have the Patreon, you will see this tape study that we're about to do. But I got to say, pleasure to get to talk with you, roll with you.
Yeah.
You're good people, man. And I was trying to say this on air. I couldn't find the words because the shock was real.
Yeah.
But legitimately, we are better off having you here. So it was really cool that you shared that moment, even though your brother's like, why'd you just tell him that? It was just, that was how you felt in the moment.
Yeah, bro.
But to me, it was one that was as you mentioned, a great reminder when you know the opportunities are not around because of what happens.
Yeah.
You are grateful for what comes as a result when you can go do what you want to do. And I feel it was with good reason. So whatever you believe in, be it religious or spiritual or whatever it is, fate or coincidence, it is pretty good that it happened that way, that you could get that fruition. You've had a great year. So I wish you continued success. And I look forward to continuing to avenge Diego next time that we roll.
We don't have to bring him next time.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? The next time, like now I know. I'm going to tag out to him. I'm going to be like, this was for you, Diego. If I hit a DDT, I'm 100% going to go all out because before I was like, yo, we're playing real fun. This is nice. And then I saw you. The thing is, you were kind of turning it up and I was like, okay, I'll meet you here. And then I could see the little competitiveness there. And I was like, oh, okay. He's kind of going here. I'll kind of go here too.
Yeah. So
I was happy that you got a good workout.
Yeah, no, we definitely gave me a good workout, man.
Well, that's what we're doing. Hey, I appreciate you, my man. Let's do this. Reminders, you guys. Here's what we're going to do. You can like, comment, and subscribe. And if you didn't know what you were going to comment on, I told you I'd give you a prompt. Here is your prompt. What is the best Pokemon card that you own? Now, I'm not asking for you to like cell phone so I can steal it from you. I don't even know what is worth what. But you can brag about it and tell us what your best Pokemon card. So if I were to ask you, what is your best Pokemon card?
Right now, I just pulled the new Dawn from the Phantasmal Flame, so I would say Dawn, the trainer. I love collecting trainers.
Oh, you like trainers? Okay, see, I didn't even know what the hell he was talking about. So when he mentioned he's like Dawn, I was like ran out of names for the Pokemon.
Yeah,
Just
Dawn.
like, oh, this one's called Dawn.
Yeah.
He just, he just sits around.
She's pretty sexy. So.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna keep going here because I think it's about to get way more revealing than it needs to be. I mean, it's calling a freaking animated character sexy
Dawn.
as fuck.
That's Dawn.
Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Let's land this bird. We told you to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also check us out, patreon.com/grappling hour. $5 a month for these interviews. And then for just a few extra dollars, you can see tape studies, extra bonus content. Right now, we're also doing match of the years with some of our athletes that we interview. We ask them what their favorite jiu-jitsu match of the year is. You're going to want to hear from some of those athletes on what they are picking. And additionally, you can go to rafasparza.com/merch, get you a Grappling Hour hoodie, a t-shirt, or a tank top. Remember those tank tops, steroids. Well, he doesn't have any, bro. We can't, bro.
I need a tank.
Yeah? Is that what it is?
Steroids so I can start. I need to start my journey.
But don't say that out loud while you're still fighting, bro.
I need to start my journey.
I like that he was like, bro, I need this tank. And then the first thing he did, he was like, this sweater's doing a lot of work.
Get your tank. Get your tank.
Thank you for that. And then, of course, if you want to continue the discussions we have here on the show, you can head on over to our Discord at Grappling Hour. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you for tuning in on this episode. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.
Perfect.